Well, it's kind of chilly this morning. I'm out here in the house picking up extension cords, moving battery packs, doing anything that I can do just to make sure that we are totally ready for this pour today. We should be getting our Jipcrete poured. The guys should be showing up any minute. I'm hoping they can find our place. Sometimes our address doesn't lead itself to good directions. Come on, Google, get it right. Well, unfortunately, I got a text from the Gypcrete installer saying that he was short on help today and wasn't going to be able to do my pour. However, he did send a guy with a sand truck out, and I got 4 loads of sand. And the promise that I would be his first guy in the morning. So, I guess that's what it is. Weather calls for rain tomorrow. That would be just yucky. I hope they're able to work through that and get it done.
Welcome back to Building at the Woods. We're a multi-generational family building 2 homesteads in western Michigan. Both our families have taken empty land and are building homes from the ground up, doing most of the work ourselves and helping each other as we go. We're just about ready to have our floors poured with Jipcrete, which is a lightweight concrete product that will encase our PEX heat tubes that run across the floor. But first, we need to install a key post in the basement that will support this floor. We skipped a step when framing. However, it's mandatory to have it in place before the additional weight of the concrete is added. And after that, the Jipcrete crew comes and pours our solid, beautiful, flat, squeak-proof floor.
One more thing that I need to get done before we pour the Jipcrete floor upstairs is to get our permanent post put underneath the main beam that supports the floor. You can see that we've got this really nice hefty 18-inch deep LVL beam. It's a triple 3-layer beam, and we never got around to actually putting the post underneath that thing. We'd already poured the floor and we were working just to get the floor on, and so we temporarily supported it with these 4x4 posts. We put 2 of them underneath it just for the time being, but actually underneath those posts there is no real support. It's just a concrete floor. However, right here in the middle of the room where this square is, there is a 5 foot by 5 foot concrete footer underneath there with 4 pieces of number 5 rebar each direction, and it's a foot thick underneath the concrete slab. So we've got probably about 16 inches worth of concrete there. Anyway, we are going to cut a hole here, right here in our slab, and we have a bracket that's right over here, and this bracket will actually get embedded down in that concrete hole. So that's what we need to do. We need to cut out the hole in the concrete, put the bracket in there, mix up some high-strength concrete, get that in there, get it set. It's got 5 days before it's going to actually get tested with some real weight up on top. So what I did is I pulled a string from this midpoint of that post over there to the midpoint of this post over here. That tells me the middle point of the building. So that represents this line right here. Then I also dropped a string down from the middle point of that beam and had the plumb bob tell me where the middle of that beam is down here on the floor. So that's what the middle of this square represents. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut a 16 by 16 inch chunk out of the concrete. I know there's no heat tube in there because we left probably 2 to 3 feet away from the middle as we were running any of the tubes. So there's nothing to hit. I just need to get down here and cut it out. I've got a concrete blade on my saw. Yeah, that'll cut through that. We use that cutting the concrete blocks that were part of the retaining wall. It's a little bit dusty. You can see I've already started making the cut but I'm going to get after it and plunge down into that. My thought is, once I've cut as deeply as I can with the concrete saw, then I'm going to take my hammer drill with a chisel blade on it and see whether or not I can punch out the concrete that's inside that square. Well, I got about the first 1.5 inches down. Oh, but I've got a long way to go. I gotta get this guy buried in there. Doesn't have to be a perfect square all the way down, but definitely got a long way to go. I think the next thing I'm gonna do is shift back out of chipper mode and go into rotary drill mode and just cut a bunch of holes. Stop. Oh, well, that means. I think I need to go get a cold chisel. Well, I'm stuck, and I went and tried to find my cold chisel, and I cannot find it anywhere. So, let's see. Another option. That off, maybe drill around it. We're ready to swap out batteries again. Well, I finally got that hole jack hammered enough that the entire bracket plus a little bit more sits down in that hole. So I'm at the point now where I'm ready to go get some of that high strength concrete, mix it up, pour that in, get that thing set. Well, we're finally ready to pour this post pad with the bracket in it. And Karen's helped me rig up a hose. I think we're just gonna mix this in a wheelbarrow rather than getting the mixer down here and getting it all dirty. It's only gonna be 1 or maybe 2 bags. So should go pretty fast. Well, I think that's where I'm going to leave it for right now. I'm going to go have some dinner, some soup and nachos, and I'll come back and kind of smooth it out just a little bit more. Over this past week, you saw me putting in a bracket in the floor where I chiseled out the floor, took out all of the concrete that's part of the slab and chiseled down into the 12-inch thick pad that is designed to support the weight of the floor. And so created that hole, poured that solid with a special high PSI concrete. And so now we have a bracket here in the floor that will support our 8x8 beam. Now up here on this LVL, you can see I've kind of hung up the bracket that we're going to use to marry the post and the beam. At the moment, there's just a couple nails holding it in, but I put it up there just so I could measure the full distance between that bracket and the bracket down on the floor. Another thing I did in preparation to putting this post in was I wanted to make sure that this LVL beam was not sagging. If so, I would have needed to kind of jack that thing up and get it level all the way across. Now, how did I figure out whether or not it was sagging? I put in a nail here at the end and put my chalk line on it. Did it all the way across, got that thing really taut. What you can see here is that chalk line is actually just slightly below the beam, which tells me that these 4x4 posts are actually influencing that LVL beam in an upward cant, which is just fine, because what that tells me is that I can measure this 8x8 post, cut it to length, maybe even just a little bit short, slide that thing in there, and then knock those 4x4s out of there, and it'll settle down, and this beam will actually just settle, 1/8 of an inch, and be perfectly level all the way across. So the next parts of the process is that I need to take a measurement on this post, and then drag out the 8x8, cut it to length, and then we'll stick it in there. And while I'm working, we have the dog grooming facilities outside.
Yeah,
Holy crap.
the spa. Her nails are next.
Oh, she will love that. Not.
It's a spa day. German Shepherds. They are continuously shedding.
What do you think, girl? Oh, is this the best?
Yeah. Getting her attention for today. The beast.
Yeah. Both sides look pretty good, so
It looks straight.
it's pretty good. Yep.
You gonna take a chainsaw to it?
No.
Looks like it's
I'm just trying to spin.
spinning.
Yeah. I think I'm done. I think we're done.
Yay.
Woohoo! Now. So now the final moment. Will it fall down when I take the support out? I had no doubt. Now I need to measure holes, make sure I'm buying the right type of hardware, like 5/8 on those. Oh, 3/4 on the bottom. The fall colors have just been spectacular. We've lost out a lot of leaves. Won't be long before they're bare. We've definitely noticed that as fall's progressed, the sun is sinking lower on the horizon. We also see that even before the sun goes down, our panels are shaded by the house, unfortunately. We're going to have to move them next year into a more optimum location. We haven't quite figured out where that's going to be, but we'll figure it out. So the crew has showed up today to pour our Gypcrete floors. We got Mike and Jim and the whole crew here. They've got this mixer machine here that will mix together sand and the Gypcrete. We've got the sand here. Guys are running hoses, getting ready to pump it into the house. It's just like a slurry. They'll do it in 2 lifts or 2 stages. So they will pour the first 3/4 of an inch and let that firm up, and then they'll come back and pour the other 3/4 of an inch and make sure it's all smooth. So we're pretty much ready to go. Guys are setting up their plan. Going around with foam. Just making sure that all the cracks are sealed. Don't want it pouring through and going down outside.
And I know the floor is warm.
Now, does this mix have a different consistency in terms of hardening elements or anything like that?
This is not as strong as the cementitious top coat, but it's what we always use for the first lift. It's plenty strong enough.
Okay.
That's how it's only a 50-cent difference in price because it's the top coat that we're changing if you're upgrading.
All right. And you're saying that top coat's actually got like a 5,000 PSI rating?
5 and 6.
That's great.
So it'll hold up to your drywall operation real well.
One of our viewers commented in a previous video and asked the question, why do they do 2 layers instead of just a single layer? Well, I talked to the guys about that, and they said most of the buildings they do haven't been as cleaned as thoroughly as ours has been. So what they do with that first layer is they trap all of the little pieces of crap that are left on the floor in that lower layer. And that way, when they put the second layer on top, it turns out nice and smooth and they don't have any contamination.
How long will it take to kind of cure at current temperatures?
10 days is for normal.
10 days?
Yeah, 7 to 10.
Well, here we are about an hour and a half later, and I'm already walking on the floor. It's not the finished floor, but we're walking on that first layer that they put down. This is such a great product and a great result. You know, your floors are flat and level and solid. They don't squeak and they're warm and man.
If it was just cheap, everybody would do it.
If it was just cheap.
If it was just cheap.
But once you've had it, you can't go back.
That's what everybody says. It comes up here. I lived in Birmingham and I got it there and I gotta have it again. When they retire to a lake or something.
This is my third house with it in it. Yeah. Well, the guy's finished over here in the master bedroom. Just needs to dry now. We'll be able to walk on it tomorrow. We had the guys hold off on putting any Gypcrete in the shower room because we need to be able to slope that floor towards a drain. So we'll just use regular concrete to slope the floor before we put on the waterproofing membrane.
Getting there.
It's almost like a board tide, man.
We used to work for them. But if you miss a day.
No, it's not.
Hey Ryan, let me call you right back. I'm pumping for 5
Good
minutes.
sized house.
Yeah.
Half a batch left.
That'll get you out of that room.
Yeah, well that's pretty partial.
We are down to the very tail end here. The guys are working here in the office. They got a little bit here in the hallway, and they're done.
That's probably.
Hey,
Alright, all done?
I'm all done.
Nice. It looks great. Thank you, Jim, for your good work.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, at this point, the guys are just going to clean up their equipment, wind up hoses, pack things up, head out. They did a great job. Can't wait to walk on the floor.
Well, as we wrap up the building season, start thinking about winter. The question is, how are we going to shelter through the winter? I think what we're going to do is probably put a couple more strips of house wrap on this south side and call it good. We've got so much interior work to do. It'll keep us busy. We'll take up the exterior next season.